And when Harden averaged 35 a game and then 33 a game, what Steph fans would say is, man, let Steph Curry have that usage rate. Steph has never needed to do that. What Russ had to do the year KD left, what Harden had to do, which is be an offense unto himself. Steph's never had to do that. And what I fear we're going to find out this year is that's very good because he can't.
For some reason, my favorite seasons by all-time greats are typically the years where they have to carry everything. It's like I know they can still play well and get theirs within a team setting, and that quite literally makes them a winning player. But seeing their greatness truly tested, it just hits different. I just made a video about Jokic and basically how this year, this man has to wear about 15 different caps to keep their head above water. Although I don't want to see all-time great peaks become wasted, so I never want to see this linger, I can appreciate it for a year. 2016 might have been Stephen Curry's best year, especially when you account for the winning, but 2021 has always been my favorite. Why? Well, because people acted like Stephen Curry couldn't be Steph if he didn't have superheroes around him. Even some players, they chimed in, and Steph literally proved everybody wrong. You thought he couldn't score or somehow get his without KD? Well, the players that had the most 40-point games was Steph. The players that had the most 50-point games was Steph. The player that was tied for the most 60-point games was Steph. Kobe in 06. We knew he wasn't winning, but that season is so iconic because his whole skill set was put on full display. Now, what exactly does this have to do with Giannis? Well, this season, it kind of feels like it's his turn. I've made a few videos in the past comparing LeBron to Giannis, and that's because even though stylistically they may be different, some way, somehow, Giannis always feels like he's walking in LeBron's shoes in some way. In previous videos, I've talked about this.
After what he did last year, he won me over. I was, because I know he wouldn't have been a force back in the days. They would make him 2 jump shots. And he wasn't going to be doing no Europe to the basket like he doing. You'll step to the basket and just get layup. No, somebody going to knock his head off. He been come on the bench back in the days.
I don't think it was any coincidence at all that when LeBron went on Pat McAfee's show and he talked about the old era, hating on the new era, the first player he referenced was who?
You trying to tell me Giannis wouldn't be able to play an NBA game in the 70s?
Neither would you.
Giannis Antetokounmpo would have 250 points in a game in the 70s.
These two physical freaks, for whatever reason, they're the main 2 players that I see get referenced as not having enough skill to compete back then.
Can you lock up LeBron?
No one could lock up LeBron. Me, Mike, and Scotty could. I would have locked his ass up. LeBron is so easy to play. He's so fucking easy to play. He don't have any moves. The game is too simple. He just big. Now, 260, whatever, 6'8", 6'9". That's the only thing he got.
But regardless of any of that, Giannis is slowly following in LeBron's path, whether he knows it or not. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. It's literally the best time of year for any NBA fan. The play-in is here. The playoffs is right around the corner. If you want to see any of these events live, there's no better place than my friends over at SeatGeek, and I have the perfect deal for you. All you have to do is use my promo code Swishout10 and get 10% off any tickets. Yes, we love hoops here, but this isn't just applicable to basketball. This can go for concerts, festivals, really you name it. Also, they make it easy and convenient for you. They rate their own tickets on a scale from 1 to 10, so you can visually see what type of deal you're getting. Y'all know by now, the greener the dots, the better the deal. The orange, yellow, red ones, you should probably consider different tickets. Click the link in my description box below to download the app and automatically have my code added to your account. You can use it later. That's 10% off of any SeatGeek ticket with my promo code Swishout10. Do it now. This is for a limited time only.
And you got your brother occupying 2 roster spots. Are we going to talk about that? You know good and well, Giannis, your brother's probably not going to be playing for any other team in the NBA except Milwaukee, and that's only because of you. So you keep talking about surrounding you with talent. There's 2 spots that's being occupied by your brothers.
We know LeBron. He's the king of passive-aggressive comments, urging his front office to make moves that he wants. I'm not sure if people noticed, but Giannis, in his own way, He's adopted this exact same method, and he's been doing it for a while now. In 2023, right before the trade deadline, this is where the Lakers stood standings-wise, and this is what LeBron tweeted. 4 days later, Rob made this happen, and it did completely turn around their year. Giannis in 2021, right after winning his first championship, he basically let Milwaukee know, yeah, this is cool and all, but I always want more. He said, quote, "What's the next challenge? It might not be here." Basically letting the front office know, continue to do your job at the highest level while I do mine. I'm never going to be content. In 2023, after losing in the first round and having this iconic Giannis rant, he basically said he doesn't feel too comfortable signing an extension early if he doesn't feel sure that Milwaukee's all in like he is.
As long as we play and we approach the game every single day the right way and we all sacrifice for a common goal, I can see myself being in Milwaukee Bucks for the rest of my career. But the moment I feel like people are not committed as I am, I am not. I'm a Milwaukee Buck, but most importantly, I'm a winner. I want to win.
A few weeks later, you can tell the Milwaukee Bucks heard Giannis and they went and got Dame. Giannis is kind of passive aggressive like Bron, but this dude wants to win and he's very vocal about it. Just this past October, Giannis oddly said this team has to win, and if they don't, I might get traded. We know good and damn well that's never happening unless they hire him. Then a month later, Giannis, he went on this rant about his teammates.
We got so many wide open threes. We got in the paint. Hey man, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. If you don't want to be here, you can leave. I'm being honest with you. If you're gonna go out there and you're not gonna compete, you're not gonna win the game. Sometimes you compete, you're and you don't win the game. But at least just give yourself a chance.
Literally just 2 months ago, Giannis once again made it very clear, I'm never going to get comfortable if the organization isn't winning. This dude is clearly a winner, and like Bron, he's going to let that be known to the people that actually matters. Since Giannis won his first MVP in 2019, if you look at the players with the highest winning percentile since that time, it's still Giannis. Giannis got drafted in 2013 and he won his first MVP in 2019. LeBron got drafted in 2003 and he won his first MVP in 2009. If you look at Bron in that exact same span, from the time he won his first MVP all the way up until 2015, he was the winningest player, just like Giannis. But sometimes LeBron's vocalness for his team to make certain moves led to them making the wrong move. And sometimes I feel like Giannis, he might have done the exact same thing. 2018 for LeBron. This season is defined by the year this man carried an entire roster to the finals. Basically, it was an entire new roster after he traded his whole old one for a fresh new one. In the playoffs, without a true second star, this man had to turn into a whole different beast, and his workload was insane. If you look at LeBron's highest usage playoff years, you see 2009, where this man was out of his mind, 2015, and then 2018. 2015 is where his team had injuries and LeBron had to shoulder everything, and it felt like 3 years later, he was right back in that same predicament. You can actually make that exact same parallel with Giannis this year. The last playoffs that we've seen Giannis fully healthy for a full series was 2022. If you remember that year, it was a complete carry job in the playoffs for Giannis. To me at least, the East looked like it was going to be Giannis's and the Bucks for years. And then this happened. Milwaukee meets this powerhouse Celtics team that's young, hungry, hot, great defensively, and he's without his second star. This one specific series from Giannis, it always reminded me of the 2015 finals with Bron. If you look at both of their individual efficiencies in their specific series, it is very deceiving. You had to actually watch those games. Giannis without Chris Middleton, this man had an insane workload. Without Kyrie and K-Love, LeBron's workload was crazy, and they both played young teams that felt like they eventually became dynastic. We're still watching Boston. Giannis had 3 40-point games, and as great as Tatum was, he was clearly the best player playing a great team. LeBron had 3 40-point games, and again, as great as Steph was, he was clearly the best player. Look at the similarities between these two in those two series. Two of the greatest carry job series that I've seen, and LeBron's had quite a few. But now, 3 years later for Giannis, just like 2018 was 3 years later for LeBron, he finds himself in a situation where his team is asking him to do it again. Kind of like Bron in 2018, Giannis is going to have a completely different core in the playoffs than he did entering the year. No more Chris Middleton, likely no Dame. Players have stepped up, but the load has absolutely been on Giannis. The Bucks currently, they're on a 7-game win streak. And during this win streak, this man is averaging a 30-point triple-double. During this 7-game April win streak, nobody else on the team is even averaging 30 minutes outside of Giannis. Giannis during this 7-game win streak, this man is averaging damn near 12 assists. And like I said, he's channeling his inner 2018 Bron. The Cavs during that 2018 run, they met Indiana in the first round. Indiana damn near beat them, and it took LeBron doing stuff like this. Well, it's official now. The Bucks are going to meet the Pacers in that first round. In the second round, LeBron had to meet the first seed that was having their best year, but we still quite wasn't sure how good they really were. If Giannis happens to beat the Pacers, he's seeing this team. I do think this Cavs team is way better than that Raptors team, but you follow my drift. In the conference finals, LeBron happens to meet the baby version of the Celtics. If Giannis happens to go on this iconic run, he's going to meet the final form version. Now let me just say this. I don't expect Giannis to make the finals because the East is way better at the top at least than it was back then. We know that. But if Giannis and Milwaukee has any chance of doing anything this year, he's going to have to be this guy. If you guys like this video, I actually seen a tweet where somebody posted Giannis and said 2018 Bron run incoming, and it made me dig a little deeper. Follow my social media sites, turn on post notifications, do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.